raisins. I won't eat them, by the way. Is it already somewhere? Maybe.
He looks very big.
Do I? What do you mean big?
Very big and assuming.
What does that mean?
Very big.
Oh yes, just dim the lights a little more. That'll do it. That'll do it. Okay, so I'm Solomon. I'm Dutch. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm being forced to by the leader of my cast group. Forced, coerced, peer pressure, same thing. There we go. You happy?
A crude signature, Salomon. Okay, why do you enjoy world building, Salomon?
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The best answer. Now,
Isn't it though? Is it not fun?
it is fun.
Exactly, so.
That's why I said it's the best answer.
Exactly.
So, Solomon, what do you think is more important in a story? Escapism or reflection?
Depends on the story you want to write.
Depends on the story you want to write. How about you? Just you specifically, subjectively.
I write all different kinds of stories.
What's your favorite type of story?
I don't have one.
You don't have one.
I don't have a specific favorite.
Then in general.
Not really. I enjoy any kind of story.
Okay.
Well, unless it's like, the bird fell out of the tree, the bird died. The end, you know?
Do you think that story is escapist or reflexive?
About the bird dying?
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you think of the term all art is political?
False.
False. Could you explain?
Natasha, for example, today.
Don't bring up someone unrelated. So say your friend.
Okay. My friend, today in English class, drew a character on the side of a paper. Does that mean it's political art? So you've already gotten my answer for me. You just want to see how I respond to the question.
Exactly. Next question.
All right, yeah.
Do you think people naturally resist change, even if it's good for them?
Again, really depends on the change.
Okay.
I keep saying it really depends on things, but it really does. I mean, that's the story of Plato's allegory of the cave, right?
Go on.
That's what I did for the TOK thing, where there were these people chained to the floor of a cave, forced to look at a wall, flames behind them casting shadows on the wall. All they knew were the shadows. They couldn't turn around. One guy escaped the cave, went outside, saw the revolt. He wanted to tell his friends, so he came back and told his friends, but they didn't believe him. Not because they couldn't, not because it wasn't the truth, but because they didn't want to.
And why is that? Why did they not want to accept this
Because
revelation, sort of?
it goes against what they believe.
And why do they hold on so vehemently to their beliefs?
As the question stated before, humans are resilient.
Would you say this resilience stems from arrogance or ignorance?
Both.
Both?
Both.
Is there a heavier proportion on one?
No.
No?
I think it's little bits of both.
Could you explain?
I don't think humans are all arrogant, but I think people with strong opinions tend to stick with that opinion because they believe that even the theory of having a strong opinion means, oh, I'm not willing to change my mind quickly because I know that I'm right. That's...
Do they know they're right or because they simply didn't want to be wrong?
both.
Okay, so would you say arrogance breeds ignorance or is it the other way around?
I think arrogance breeds ignorance. I don't think ignorance can breed arrogance.
Explain, please.
But you can be ignorant, so naive, but that doesn't mean you're, arrogant. You can be arrogant, and that genuinely causes ignorance.
What is the root cause of arrogance then?
An insanely high confidence level.
So pride.
Pride, yeah.
Would you call yourself an arrogant person?
What would you say? Would you call me an arrogant person?
I'm not you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You're the one making the judgment on yourself. That's what makes it interesting.
But how I'm viewed by others is...
No, we're not talking about how you're viewed by others. We're talking about personal authenticity. Do you think you're an arrogant person?
I don't know if I'm an arrogant person or not.
Do you like to eat greens, Salomon?
Sure.
What do you not like to eat?
Beans.
beans, let's say lentils, let's say your mom, right? There's a very specific multivitamin contained in lentils. Your mom is forcing you to gobble them, to eat them. Would you do it?
What age am I?
Doesn't matter. Would you do it? Or would you want to do it?
I'd probably want to do it.
But you just said you hated beans.
Well, yeah, but if my mother goes to me and tells me, Solomon, you need to eat this food.
But you've read somewhere that lentils actually don't contain the multivitamin that your mom said it did.
It did. I think that's opinions.
Okay, let's say video games then.
Video games.
You believe that not playing video games would kill you.
That's not true.
Fourth question then. What do you imagine a futuristic working class life might look like? Would it be the same agenda, same schedules, just with different tech?
A futuristic working class?
Yes. Let's say a futuristic middle class.
Give me a time frame.
2080.
I think luxuries we have now will probably become a little more normal in the future. And there'll be new luxuries.
Such as?
Clean water, definitely. Yeah, resources.
Okay.
But also things like devices. 20 years ago, owning a TV, or not 20 years ago, but let's say 50 years ago, owning a TV would be like the talk of the town, you know? Nowadays, it's like, oh, you don't have a TV in your living room? That's just weird. So maybe devices that are rare or semi-rare now will be the most common thing in the future.
So like VR headsets.
Possibly. If
you envision a futuristic working class with VR headsets.
Well, you put that word in my mouth.
So you don't envision a future working class with VR
it could
headsets.
Be possible.
So you envision a future working class with VR headsets.
I envision a working class with devices that either we don't know about yet because we haven't made them yet, or devices that we do know about but are just so rare and not common among households that will be common among households in the future. Like, let's say, if planes suddenly started decreasing in price, people started buying planes more, and there was like, I don't know, free airspace or something. In 80 years, that would be a common object to own. I'm not saying it would be. I'm saying that's just an example.
So you envision a future in 2080 where people, the working class, wear headsets and drive planes.
There's an example, Lewis. Don't take everything literally.
It would look more resource abundant and technologically accessible. That's what you mean.
Well, we'll probably find ways of getting clean water to the rest of the world. I mean, they're already trying to get that to happen.
And you believe that will happen?
And by 2080?
Yes.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
There were problems, 100 years ago that we don't have anymore?
Such as?
Black Plague. That was a problem they probably thought they'd never get out, out of under.
Next question. If you had to build a society after a collapse, what would be your first priority? Let's say I'll set a very specific circumstance for you.
All right, go ahead.
Let's say humans disappeared on Earth for 50 years. So like one day, humans were here, the other just gone, all vanished. Nuclear power plants were still up and running by the time like humans were vanished, but stuff would have happened. And then 50 years later, you return with a couple million people. What's your first priority? They all blindly elected you as their leader and will follow you blindly.
That's stupid.
Critical self-awareness. Let me note that down.
Well, do we have language?
Yes. You know how this. You have all bodily functions. And
you think English is a language? I mean, language is a bodily function.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Has become an extension of our bodies, same as our arms.
Okay. I mean, if we left the world the same way it was, it would probably be smart to 50 years. Obviously, get some shelter going.
Get some shelter going? How?
Housing.
How?
Well, if we left it, it's still here. With most likely stable structures.
You get to choose where you appear from.
I Honestly, I'd probably choose somewhere like Italy or something.
Italy, why? Climate?
Climate, but also the fact that there's buildings there that have survived for years. I don't think this building will survive for 50 years without maintenance.
I see. So, places with ancient architecture. All right.
It's a good place for shelter.
So that shelter, that's going to be your first priority.
Well, yeah.
Shelter for the people.
Shelter, then food. Italy is pretty good with farming. So.
Let's look at the other layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What you've talked about are physiological needs. Let's talk more about fulfillment. Let's talk more about like how you would get human society back on track. Let's say you have enough supplies, housing, all of that to replenish your population. What do? What's your priority in that case?
I don't know. It really depends on the people.
They follow you blindly.
Well, that's no. What kind of people are these? Do we have?
Would you like a raisin?
No, I'd probably look for libraries.
Libraries. Explain.
Well, there's education in the libraries. I mean, if the civilization is advanced enough, the resources and all that, we probably already have books for education and such. But I think it wouldn't hurt. Plus, getting those books would educate some people, and in turn, it could,
But after 50 years, won't you see that all the books would already be infested with termites and gone by weathering?
Not all.
So it'll be your priority to seek out undamaged books.
Yeah.
For re-educational purposes.
No.
And why would you want to re-educate the people?
Well, because do I remember the old world?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to be the only one that knows all this shit.
No, everyone else knows.
So they know.
But they just follow you blindly.
Are there people smarter than me?
Yes.
Well, then I'll make them the leader.
Okay, so you'll resign. Your top priority would be to resign.
If there's people more qualified to be in this position, most likely, I would still get people that are more qualified than me to run the country or run the civilization or whatever. But if I was chosen to be leader or whatever they said I was,
could you take off your hat for the audience?
No, I shouldn't. I don't think I should, Lewis.
Worth a shot. Okay, go on.
I think I'd still try and help a little bit.
Help a little bit.
Well, not help, but like, I'm acting like I know more. No, but like, say what I think. Give my opinions.
As a regular citizen.
Yes. Who was a previous leader.
If your community was ruled by megacorporations, what rights would you expect to lose first?
It really depends if it's a bad megacorporation or a good megacorporation. Well, the community would probably lose ability to purchase items from any other corporations. The market would be limited to that megacorporation. Probably labor. Labor would probably increase.
Would you think megacorporations would allow the existence of unions?
But it depends on the intent. Is it to go against the megacorporation?
That depends on what you call by go against.
Like protest for better labor rights? Or is it more like, oh, we already have pretty good labor, we just need to make it better because we want less problems or something?
If you have one, you have the other.
No unions.
Okay, no unions.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue?
Well, yeah.
Okay. No, go on, take a bite. Would traditional festivals still matter in a survivalist society or become more important? Salomon, you're not answering.
What was the question? It depends on how organized the survivalist society is.
It's a survivalist society.
I think it's better if they do.
So you think it's going to be more important, culture?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because that's all they have to cling to.
No, they still need to eat.
Metaphysically, if you were thrown into an apocalyptic group of survivalists, would you still feel that part of your culture. Yeah. So then you cling to culture when surviving as an escape.
So traditional festivals as a means of escapism.
Yeah.
What lies do we tell ourselves just to get through the day?
I don't know. I don't really lie to myself. It really depends on the person, their experiences. Some people like to lie to themselves. Some people lie to themselves purely because they are arrogant. It's like trauma suppression, you know? Let's look at it like this. Oh, The Last of Us. You know about The Last of Us, right? Joel lies to himself. He tells himself he's over Sarah, even though he's not. He tells himself that he doesn't want to take care of Ellie, for example. But by the end of it, you can see that he kind of did, that he needed it. He was lying to himself. People convince themselves of a lot of things.
What do you convince yourself of?
The only really thing, I don't know.
Now, if your ancestors starved so you could live, are you obligated to make your life meaningful?
I think all life is meaningful. Well, obviously, my ancestors didn't starve themselves so I could. Like, how far back are we going with ancestors?
The Neolithic primates.
Well, they have no idea that college would be a thing. So what? Are they going to be like, oh, you didn't go to college? Or are they going to be like, oh, you sleep in a bed? You know?
So you're defining meaningful now.
Yeah. I think living a long life, happy life, I think that means it's meaningful. I don't think going to college or making money, I mean, sure, it's helpful. It's a good thing. It's a goal now, but it's not like that is what makes life inherently meaningful.
So if your ancestors starved so you could live, are you obligated to live a happy life?
I'm obligated to
for them
make the most of my life.
Okay, so then make the most of your life. Are you obligated to do it?
I could tell myself that I wouldn't be.
That you wouldn't be?
Yeah, because it's been 64 generations. If they were watching, for example, if there was some sort of ancestral plane or something, and they're watching the generations go on and go forth, I feel like they would have just stopped watching by now.
But they starved for you.
Not for me directly.
Yeah, but transitive poverty of equality.
What if one of my ancestors didn't give birth to a guy?
Doesn't matter. You're still his descendant.
Less than the one right after.
You're putting a measurement on obligation then.
Yeah.
The further they go, the less obligated you
64
are.
generations ago, people were thinking about a lot of different problems than we do now. Their main issue was food.
So you're regarding this through a realistic context.
Yeah. Look, unless this is a mythical world where my ancestors died fighting dragons and my entire family history is based off of...
Let's say your great-grandfather died in World War II.
My great-great-grandfather?
Yeah. No, your great-grandfather.
My great-grandfather.
Are you obligated to live a meaningful life for him because he died?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because that was his choice.
So he chose to die.
He chose to go to war, to fight the war. He didn't choose to die. If you enlist in the military, you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah. You choose because you want to fight, right? That's sort of what they wanted to do.
Okay, but what if he says, I'm gonna die for my country?
Well then, good for your country.
But you're living in his country. So you owe a debt to him, do you not?
I'd be very appreciative.
Okay, but you don't owe a debt to him.
I think it would be really cool to have a grandfather or a great-grandfather who fought in World War II. I think it would be a sad story for my grandparents and for my parents, but I myself don't think I would feel obligated to live a life a certain way because my great-grandfather died. In addition to that question, I probably wouldn't whine about small problems.
So you're gonna be stoic for them?
No, I think I would just look at the big picture. The way I look at emotions, right, is it's all in your head.
Imagination plus chemicals.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Every connection you make, how deep they may go, is in your head. Yes, if I meet someone and I make this connection, insanely deep, or if this connection is inherently deep, I'm not going to go, oh, but it's all in my head, and then walk away. But if there's something like a negative emotion, I will tell myself, there's no reason to sulk in it.
So you're gonna rationalize your negativity.
I already do that. A good way to live.
Last question of the day, alright? Do you prefer stories where the hero wins or where the hero loses but learns something?
Both.
Both? Okay. Which one do you like more?
Depends on my wanting to make a sequel.
Beautiful.
Or do I want to write a one-off story and then be done with it? Because then I'll probably kill off the main character.
I see.
Or if I want to write a story about... Oh no, it really depends on the story. I don't think I have a preference.
Okay, so it depends on continuity.
Depends on what I have the urge to write at that moment.
Depends on you.
Depends on me.
Because it's all chemicals.
Because it's all
And they change all the time.
change all the time.
Beautiful, Solomon. Thank you so much for this interview. Let me shake your firm hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very firm.
Is it?
Please don't squeeze it.
Is it firm?